Hello, this is Regdrin, and I'm in control now.
This is Stone of Triumph, and it turns out I've been buying shoes the wrong way for 10 years.
Is that an actual story?
Yes, but it's not one for these viewers.
Okay, well, fair enough, I guess. Well, let's take a quick look at ship design because there's a couple of things that I didn't have the chance to talk about before. For example, missiles. Why use missiles if you can use megaton missiles?
Well, megaton missiles are shorter range, they have a slower firing rate.
And their tracking speed is horrible, so they miss a lot.
Yes.
I can fix one of those problems, though, and I'd like to try that out at some point.
Oh, you equipped the target painter.
Yes, I found out that the target painter range is about the same as the megaton missile range.
Mm-hmm.
This also works for rockets, by the way. And I think it might even be better for rockets, now that I think about it, because rockets are fast, and their distance is also roughly the same as a target painter, and their DPS is okay, as far as I can tell.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is that target painters do not have 100% uptime.
Yes.
There is, however, a way to help with that, as soon as I find it. Because you can put target painters on fighters too.
Yes.
And those work for all sorts of things. They are especially handy when painting alongside anti-fighter missiles, because they help those too.
Yes, you can paint fighters with fighters.
Yes, and anti-fighter missiles hit so hard. They are so hard that if the enemy is down to their hull, those missiles are viable anti-cruiser weapons too.
Yes, they do 19 damage.
And they have a pretty fast refire rate.
Yeah, that's about as much damage as cruiser pulse lasers.
Yeah. Among several other cruiser weapons as well. So, now, let's finally take the chance to put our Empire cruisers into battle, because we couldn't do that last time.
So we are fighting the tribe.
We are fighting the tribe, and speaking of fighting enemies that are bare hull, well, here you are. We've already talked about how tribe stuff works.
Yep.
And they also have, I'd like to note, plasma backline frigates.
Oh.
Yes, and you know how Empire cruisers tend to rely very heavily on their shields?
Yes.
And how plasma is pretty good against shields?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we need to take care of those things. That's why I'm going to do a thing that I haven't done before, and just send my rocket fighters ahead to attack enemy frigates.
Yep.
Normally, you know my preference is to have these guys escort my ships and provide a little extra fire against cruisers, right?
Yes. Well, that's not possible.
It's possible, but it's not the best use on a map like this.
It's unwise.
In addition, as we've seen before, sending fighters ahead can actually mess up the enemy formation.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from this, we are sending in lots of beam frigates because enemy shields are not going to be terribly strong, and also beam frigate DPS is good. It's
fine.
It's impressive. Let's see. So what do you want me to send? A rocket cruiser or a mega missile cruiser?
Oh, I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Oh, geez, really?
Yeah.
The one time
it's
I
your
asked
fleet.
I'm asking you for feedback, and that's what you give me. Okay, fine. Well, since I said mega cruiser the way I did, I guess I have to use it now.
Good luck.
Well, thank you, I guess. Alright, deep breath, and we also have a tractor frigate, a couple of frigates with anti-fighter missiles, and the target painters here. I think I'm going to have them escort the mega missile cruiser and give them some room to maneuver so they can help paint stuff for the cruiser too.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think we've got our plan.
Yep.
Oh, since I've been leaving things kind of vague, I thought now might be an okay time to describe our, let's say, our challenge for each other a little bit more.
Yes.
We're going to separate that into several videos. One where Stone of Triumph builds his ships and explains what his strategy is going to be. A second one where I do the same for my choice of ships. And a third where he presents his challenge to me and I see how well my plans meet with his.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, I'd like to emphasize that for the sake of fairness, I'm not going to view his videos nor his mine until the confrontation has already happened.
Correct.
And also, I want to emphasize that with this sort of player versus player stuff, it's kind of a matter of luck as to how the strategies sort of face off against each other, since there is some rock, scissors, paper elements to all this, especially when fighters are involved.
Okay, so
It looks like
speaking of fighters,
yes, it seems like they're doing a pretty good job. The reason that this is working is that, for whatever reason, this enemy fleet design does not have any tractor beams. And tractor beams help a lot against rocket fighters. They are almost a speed of 4, which is ridiculous speed. And without tractor beams, even enemy fighters have trouble hitting them.
the other problem here is that the enemy cruisers seem to have some kind of orders to shoot at fighters.
Yeah, you unless they are extremely dedicated anti-fighter cruisers, which why would you do that? You generally want to take the attack fighter orders off of your cruisers, because you end up with formations like this.
Easy pickings. Or maybe?
Well, it looks like we've sent 4 of them away from the battle, which is pretty helpful.
It looks like one of your cruisers is taking a pounding anyway.
Yeah, the thing is, we've kind of observed how good tribe weapons are at destroying enemy shields. And since we're the Empire and depend quite a bit on shields, well, we're running into some problems.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is that when we compare their defensive strengths to our build, our DPS should be able to handle their repairs, I think. That's a lot of numbers, and a lot of them are not small numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, they're pretty slow to explode, which is yep. Still, we're going to have pretty much all our stuff against 1 or 2 of their cruisers, so hopefully we'll be okay.
It looks like your rocket fighters have managed to take out the shields on their other cruisers.
Let me think. They might just be using weak shields in that case. Yeah, if they're dealing shield -9 damage to enemy cruisers, they must be using something really light.
Mm-hmm. Well, danger has passed.
Yeah, the danger has passed. If they kept their formation and all attacked me at once, then things would be a little different.
A lot different.
It turns out the ultra-advanced technological empire has kind of a weakness to gun.
Yeah, who would have thought?
And after all this time, we've still got some rocket fighters hitting them too. And you tell me, have you been seeing a lot of -60? Because I'm not sure if my mega missiles have been hitting them. I didn't really notice it, unfortunately.
Let's see.
I think the range thing... Okay, we got some of them coming in, but they might be aimed at fighters, unfortunately. Man, those things are slow.
Yep. Yeah, 2 of their cruisers are still all the way up there.
Okay, in that case, as soon as this thing explodes, I'm gonna speed it up and... Well, I think we can guess how that's gonna go. We certainly have plenty of painter fighters left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, you are right about our rocket fighters breaking their shields. And this is not a question of tribe shields being weak, because their ability to bounce weapons off is unchanged, as you saw when I was playing as the tribe.
Yeah, they must be equipped with metaphasic shields.
Yeah, either metaphasic shields or just really cheap shields, like the kinds that we were talking about before, which are Basically there for budget and not actually defending your ship. That's the impression I get from these shields.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of support frigate, I did add a frigate that recharges nearby cruiser shields. I don't know how much of a difference that made. But as we move from one battle to the next, let's first hear a word from our sponsor. Let's see. Go Industries. When you need the go.
Thank you.
Why is there a picture of a space marine on this? It's clearly an engine company.
Best not to think too much about that.
Okay, fine. We are going to talk specifically about frigate engines. So, would you like to do the first one?
Oh, I don't see why not. When you spend all your cash on guns and shields, you might have to economize in speed with this cheap but cheerful Thrustmeister frigate engine. It gets you from A to B. Thrustmeister, so you don't have to get out and push.
Frigate Engine 2. Cruisers can reduce a frigate to atoms from super long range, so it might pay dividends to race in closer and return fire. With this high-powered engine, this won't be a problem. Don't go with that strategy, by the way. Some cruiser weapons have bad tracking, but a lot of them don't, and we've seen how easy it is for frigates to get hit.
Yeah, one of the things the Nomads have is actually a 4th tier of frigate engine.
Oh, neat. I guess I'll have to try that out once I try out the Nomads. Frigate Engine 3. So you want the power and tonnage of a frigate, but with the zippy speed of a fighter? Look no further. With this high-speed engine, your frigate will be the leader of the pack. And just because I like one of the descriptions of the fighter engines, I'll do that as well. With cruisers the size of shopping centers trying to blast them into dust, your fighter pilots will appreciate the maneuverability afforded by this enhanced engine module. Fighter engines are a tricky thing, by the way, because if you're not careful, their weight can offset the thrust that they provide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now we're done with a word from our sponsor, let's go into the hard mode battle.
Well, expert mode.
Oh, expert mode, yes, sorry.
Because we don't do normal here.
No, that's for normies.
And you have to redeploy.
That's okay. Because I wanted to redo a couple of things. In particular, I want to replace the Mega Cruiser with the Rocket Cruiser. We gave the Mega Cruiser a fair chance, and it did land some hits, since it didn't get Worst Ship Award, but still. So, we'll do the same anti-fighter strategy that we did before.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think? Since I guess we'll try and find out if this expert design has any enemy tractor beams or frigates.
I wouldn't count on them having tractor beams.
Okay.
It would be nice if they did.
If they didn't, you mean?
If they did.
Oh, why? Oh, it'd be nice for them if they did.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very highly recommended to bring tractor beams somewhere on a fleet setup, otherwise what happened last time will happen to you. Let's see, these are beam cruisers, which are not really part of this particular strategy. I might use them against the Alliance, for example.
Mm-hmm.
But for this kind of battle, it's frigates for me.
Correct.
And we will, of course, send the frontliner pulse cruisers. Although they are... You see, as my brother kind of noted, most enemy designs are not really built for very close combat, but because tribe guns are kind of a feature of the tribe, we tend to run into that more with this particular map. So they're going to have a tougher time than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're sending the rockets!
We've got the rockets.
We've got the rockets! We've got the rockets. Okay.
Escort?
Now, I don't actually expect amazing things from these rockets, because the best They are at their best when they're knocking out enemy shields, and those aren't really a tribe thing.
And they can still do damage.
Yeah, they can still do damage, certainly. Alright, I think that just about covers our needs. So, let's see how well this setup works. And let's compare it to the enemy formation as well. Just in case we need to...
You didn't set your frigates to escort.
I didn't set my frigates to... You mean my beam frigates?
Correct.
Oh, I don't need to. They stay at a far enough distance as long as there's pulse cruisers ahead.
Oh, these are different cruiser designs.
Yep. I don't see a whole lot of... Wait, what are the orders for... Oh, they're set to attack enemy fighters now. I forgot to save the orders that told them to attack frigates. I'm sorry. Okay, so, attack frigates, very high priority.
Mm-hmm.
And attack at a sort of respectable distance.
Yeah, because rockets actually have a minimum range that needs to be accounted for.
Yeah, and also they have just range in general, and it's nice to take advantage of range.
Mm-hmm.
And low priority for cruisers, but the order is still there for when all the frigates are gone.
Okay, let's get them.
So, my apologies for the bad orders.
Let's get them.
At least it didn't waste too much of our time, I think. So, let's take a look at that enemy formation. It looks like they got a whole bunch of frigates, actually.
Yep.
In fact, a whole bunch of frigates.
Yep. Well, have fun.
I hope some of them are tractor beam frigates, otherwise they're going to be in trouble. It looks like they're in trouble.
Yes. Or there will be trouble.
And once again, it looks like the cruisers are using shields that can't even bounce rockets off.
However, the cruisers are equipped with light autocannons that are shooting up your fighters.
Yeah. But against 3 full squadrons of rocket fighters, I'm not sure whether that'll be fast enough to deal with them. It also seems to be disorganizing their formation quite a bit. And that might be the best contribution that they're providing for this battle. Although softening up the frigates is certainly a nice thing to have. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of damage numbers over my fighters, so I think they'll be okay for a little while at least. It's not a good idea to bring really weak shields, and not just because of the rockets, but because I think the whole reason that you want shields is to deflect enemy beam lasers.
Actually, they've shot down most of your rocket fighters.
Okay, well, I wonder if it just doesn't display damage numbers for fighters sometimes.
Well, I think your attention is just elsewhere.
I guess, maybe.
So they have a lot of their frigate firepower left.
Yeah. On the other hand, their formation is not looking so great. That's the sort of problem that could be easily fixed by giving better orders. That's one of the problems with Empire fighters. They don't have any fighters designs that have 2 hard points. Rocket fighters do a lot better when they have 2 weapon hard points, I think. If I was going to do that again, I guess I could try giving rocket fighters some light armor to see if that helps.
I don't think it would.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Looks like your support frigate is doing some work. Because if it wasn't beaming over here, this thing, that cruiser up there would be dead by now for sure.
Okay. Well, it's great to see a design work out, you know? And speaking of designs working out, actually, I'm not sure how exactly those... Oh yeah, it's starting to hit with the rockets now.
Yeah, looks like you got this one too.
I sure hope so. Because the formation looks just a little bit awkward. It's good that I'm putting all this firepower down on the right, and I'll be able to close up that part of it soon. I think I'm starting to believe you about the enemy's fighter defense because I don't see my painter fighters around either.
Yep.
That's really odd. Usually when my fighters get shot down, I can pretty easily see why that is.
Well, keep in mind that gun projectiles are invisible.
Yeah, there is that.
Yes. Yeah, the thing about the tribe's anti-fighter autocannons is that they have a tracking speed of 3.7.
Oh, well, okay. That is pretty unusual. Okay, so last time they just not only didn't have tractor beams, but they also didn't have autocannons. But it looks like their frigates are leaving.
Well, that's because your ships are actually getting torn up by their fighters.
Wait, what? What? Wait. I'm talking about these frigates over here.
I know.
They're leaving.
Yes.
What does that have to do with their fighters and my ships?
Oh, nothing. I just wanted to point that out.
I don't know. I see a lot more no effect than I see hull -2 or whatever. It's true that I might have some trouble catching them, though. Well, let's speed this up.
Yeah? Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I'll be there in a moment. So, well, I think you're gonna win this one only because you've got them cornered.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess... Like, under normal circumstances, I think that the painter strategy works. I just... Maybe when the enemy air defense is strong, I need to tighten the painters inwards a little bit.
Yep. Well, that's it.
Okay, yeah. It looks like the breakdown is as it usually is.
Uh-huh. Well, you somehow managed to pull it off.
Okay, so I guess I'm not even sure that sending in the rocket fires was a bad idea. Maybe I'd only need to send 2 squadrons to have the effect on their formation that I did. And as I said before, I'd tighten up the escort a bit, but other than that, I think it's okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess that's it for now. Next time, we're switching factions again, and we have the Order and the Nomads left.
Yep.
What would you like to see?
The Order actually has an interesting set of unique equipment and strategy that's based on damage over time.
Okay, we'll try that then next time.
Okay. See you then.
Later.